First stanza of the Ranger Creed, recognizing that I volunteered as a Ranger, fully knowing the hazards of my chosen profession. I will always endeavor to uphold the prestige, honor, and high esprit de corps of the Rangers. It is often said in the special operations community that a Ranger tab marks successful completion of a school, but a Ranger scroll is a way of life. Do you have what it takes to be an Army Ranger? Second stanza of the Ranger Creed, acknowledging the fact that a Ranger is a more elite soldier who arrives at the cutting edge of battle by land, sea, or air. I accept the fact that as a Ranger, my country expects me to move further, faster, and fight harder than any other soldier. In the movie Apocalypse Now, Colonel Kurtz was said to be an exceptional soldier because he volunteered for airborne training as a colonel, for which an officer must have served at least 13 years in the military as an officer. And although attrition in Army airborne training with the award of jump wings and the Red Beret, if assigned to an airborne unit like the 82nd Airborne Division at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, is only at about 15% in a 3-week course, it is more difficult when over the age of 35, when the body is more prone to injury. But let's assume that you're not Marlon Brando with a bald head or a colonel. Do you have what it takes to be an Army Ranger? Third stanza of the Ranger Creed. Never shall I fail my comrades. I will always keep myself mentally alert, physically strong, and morally straight. And I will shoulder more than my share of the task, whatever it may be, 100% and then some. Less than 25% of Americans between the ages of 17 and 35 are even eligible to join the military due to fitness, criminal record, and education. So by definition, service in the military is very selective, and not everyone can do it, even if they have the desire to be all that they can be. And attrition during initial entry training ranges historically from 6 to 30% across the services, with the Air Force having the lowest attrition rate. But a recent extension of the Army Infantry 1 stationed unit training from 13 weeks, as it was in the 1990s, to 22 weeks, has resulted in a drastic reduction in the attrition rate for the Army Infantry, cutting it in half from 12% down to 6%. Major Mike Webb volunteered for high-stress infantry training immediately after Iraq invaded Kuwait, earning the Blue Cord of an infantryman at the age of 25. Do you have what it takes to be an Army Ranger? Fourth stanza of the Ranger Creed. Gallantly will I show the world that I am a specially selected and well-trained soldier. My courtesy to superior officers, neatness of dress, and care of equipment shall set the example for others to follow. 1 year later, at the age of 26, Major Mike Webb volunteered for a Ranger contract option, which after graduation from the Army Parachutist School at Fort Benning would assign him to an elite airborne light infantry battalion with a force projection capability to deploy anywhere in the world under 18 hours, with the coveted award of a black beret, which in recent years has been converted to a brown beret. Although he volunteered to serve in what is called a soft skill, specifically that of Army Legal Specialist, he was still yet required to complete airborne training and the Ranger indoctrination program, just like the infantrymen who would be assigned to the line companies. That meant that at the age of 26, to become one of America's specially selected and well-trained soldiers, he had to be able to pass the Ranger School physical fitness test at the standard of a 17-year-old and achieve 70 points in each category, 10 points more in each event than a soldier in basic training, which 75% of Americans are disqualified to begin. In the 1990s, the Ranger fitness test required a Ranger to be able not just to perform more push-ups and sit-ups in under 2 minutes than the average graduate of basic training, as well as run a 2-mile course faster than the average graduate of basic training, but also to be able to run 5 miles in under 40 minutes, swim at least 15 meters with a rifle and battle fatigues and boots, and perform at least 10 pull-ups, a feat that this 25-year-old Ranger qualified congressional candidate is finding a little bit challenging, as indicated by his waving legs, trying to push himself up to the bar. Major Mike Webb achieved fame on Fort Benning during his parachutist training, going daily at the conclusion of each training day to the installation swimming pool on main post to learn how to complete the combat water survival test. which accounts for 15% of attrition in the Ranger indoctrination program, where most volunteer to fail not because they lack the ability to swim, but because of a lack of motivation to continue the rigorous training. Do you have what it takes to be an Army Ranger? Fifth stand of the Ranger Creed. Energetically will I meet the enemies of my country. I shall defeat them on the field of battle, for I am better trained and will fight with all my might. Surrender is not a Ranger word. I will never leave a fallen comrade to fall into the hands of the enemy, and under no circumstances will I ever embarrass my country. In the 1990s, to become a Ranger qualified soldier, you need only be able to meet the accession standards, but also successfully complete the leadership school, which, if not recycled, was completed through instruction at the Lonico Mountains of Georgia, the deserts of Fort Bliss, Texas, and the jungles of Eglin Air Force Base, Florida, in 72 days. But Major Mike Webb endured the hardships and sacrifice of an Army Ranger, prepared to deploy anywhere in the world in under 18 hours for 2 years, with the added challenge that despite a college degree and high rank as a lower enlisted soldier, under standard operating procedures, to maintain order and discipline in an elite infantry unit, not possessing a Ranger tab made him a second-class soldier, subordinate in rank to soldiers at his pay grade who possessed a Ranger tab. Nonetheless, he was early identified as one of the best Rangers in his command and ordered to attend officer candidate school by a Ranger commander who later went on to be recognized in the Ranger Hall of Fame while pinning on his 3rd General Star. And when Major Mike Webb departed the Ranger community, his direct line supervisor was the brother of General Michael Flynn. Do you have what it takes to be a Ranger? Sixth stand of the Ranger Creed. Readily will I display the intestinal fortitude required to fight on to the Ranger objective and complete the mission, though I be the lone survivor. My name is Major Mike Webb, retired Army Ranger, and I am running for U.S. Congress with liberty, honor, and excellence. By God, we shall make America great again.
This advertisement was authorized by Mike Webb.